Some exciting news, guys. Let me show you. 66 degrees, Sunday, 66 degrees. So, you know what that means. With the weather be what it is on Sunday, let me show you what we're gonna make. This is what I'm looking for. I have the leftover chicken from last week's InstantPot recipe. We're gonna make some Arroz Caldo. Let's go.
"2,000 years later."
Hey mister, you ready? Let's do some shopping. Alright, so I checked my fridge and I'm missing a few ingredients. We need ginger, we need some pork belly, and I want some tofu. So we're gonna go do a little bit of shopping. Look at that feetsy. You bored? No, you love the supermarket, huh? Alright, let's do more shopping. Alright. That was a wild grocery trip. So I have no restraint. I went there for a few pieces of produce, some pork belly, and we're going home with a bunch more crap. Hey baby. Nap time?
Eating time.
Eating time?
Yeah.
Alright. Me too. We've got these folding crates from Costco. So handy. Reusables. We don't like taking home plastic bags, so this is the other option. Alright, we're back from the store. Thank you for joining me today on Charlie's Cookline. 2 weeks in a row, I had to go grocery shopping. Thank you guys for joining me. Let's go look at what we got. Got some pork belly, some eggs for poaching, pack of tofu, lemons, limes, ginger root, and a bunch of cilantro. I freaking took it out of the bag for this shot. How stupid. Let's get cooking. All right guys, so we're gonna start by draining our tofu. We're gonna apply pressure to it so it squeezes out all of its excess liquid. And so all I did was cut it out of its packaging. Now, I'm gonna take 2 flat surfaces. If you've got plates, you can use plates. I'm gonna use these little toaster oven thingies. Start by putting down some paper towel. Our tofu. You know what, I'm gonna salt it now. Salting it will help extrude any excess liquid. Then I'm gonna take another flat surface, put that there, and we're going to apply pressure with a cast iron. You don't have to use a cast iron skillet. You could just use anything, any heavy object, like, I don't know, college books that you paid a fortune for and never really got to use. So that's just gonna hang out for about 15-20 minutes. In the meantime, let's get our pork belly salted. I'm gonna air fry this in our InstantPot Duo. It's been a week and I haven't used that feature yet, so today will be the day. And am I gonna use all of it? This pork belly is for the Tokwa't Baboy, and I never have Arroz Caldo without a side of Tokwa't Baboy. And if you don't know what that is, it is basically fried pork belly and fried tofu served inside a like vinegary acidic sauce with chopped up onions and garlic. Man, it's awesome stuff. You guys get a 2-for episode. We're doing Arroz Caldo and the Tokwa't Baboy. Okay, so now the salt is on our pork belly. We're gonna look at our settings and see how long we need to air fry these boys up. Here we go. I've never used the air fryer attachment, but I do know I need to use that lid. I'm gonna drop this pork belly in there, and I don't wanna overlay them or stack them on top of each other because that's going to ruin the crispness that I want to get. So we're going to use the second level attachment. Get that pulled up there. And we're going to arrange our pork belly around this side. Yeah, you might hear Micah crying in the background. He won't go down for his nap, but Kiss is doing her best. Ignore the crying baby. It's normal. And there we go. Almost a perfect fit. Now we'll take this basket and take our lid, line this guy up back here. Right? Is that right? No, right here. No, that's wrong too. Okay, so I found out that this doesn't twist on. It just gets placed right on top. All right, so we hit the air fry setting, defaults to 400 degrees, and let's go for 20 minutes. We'll see how it goes from there. Okay. So while our air fryer is going, we are gonna prep our meats. And we're gonna start by crushing some garlic. My least favorite thing to do in the world. I'm gonna give them a rough chop. Okay, garlic's chopped. Scoop that up, put it aside. I have half an onion here, and we're gonna dice this boy up. There we go. Scoop that guy up. Now our ginger. Just take your spoon, scrape off the skin. So when that happens, bust out the knife. Trim that piece out. So I'm just gonna roughly chop the ginger now and crush this up. And we're gonna saute it up so I can release more of its oils, start to caramelize its sugar, and then we're gonna blend it up so that we can hide it in the soup. Now, this Tokwa't Baboy sauce, really simple, about a teaspoon of sugar. I'm using brown sugar, you can use white. And then we're gonna do about a teaspoon of fish sauce. I'm gonna add half this amount of onion. Grab our garlic. I'm gonna add half the amount of garlic. I'm gonna drown it all in some cane vinegar. Now I'm gonna add about a cup of that. Give that a stir. You wanna stir until the sugar is fully dissolved. So this is the basic sauce. I like mine a little bit more citrusy, so I'm gonna add some lime juice. And we're gonna add some heat. That's good, about half the lime. And I'm just gonna cut this excess pulp. Lime juice. Kiss's Harvest came in clutch and produced me a habanero pepper. You don't have to add a heat element. I like it, so it's gonna go into the Tokwa't Baboy. These guys go in there. Stir. And that's good. We're gonna put that aside and wait for our pork belly to be added to it. Our tofu was being pressed for about 25 to 30 minutes at this point. And just after picking it up, you could tell it's already much more dense. By doing this, you get a meatier tofu. So if you ever wondered why at restaurants their tofu comes out a little bit different, it's because they either buy it pre-pressed or they press it themselves. So instead of getting like a crumbly tofu texture, you get this nice meaty tofu steak. It's noisy on the set today. So I'm gonna fry this up in these little steaks and then chop it before we add it to our sauce. Okay, so our oil is all heated up, sorta, I think. Let's see. Now we're just gonna fry our tofu steaks. When you lay them down, you wanna go away from you. That way you don't get splashed with hot oil. There's another added benefit of pressing your tofu. You notice it's not splattering like crazy because most of the moisture was already pulled out. The increased benefit is that you get a really crispy outside tofu. Squeeze your tofu. You heard it here. Charlie's Cookline. know what? Forgot we had that chicken skin, so we're gonna go ahead and fry that up as well. So while our tofu is frying, our water for poaching our eggs is ready. So we're gonna do that. So when I'm poaching eggs, I like to crack them into a separate container. It just makes it easier when your hand is over the pot and you're getting ready to drop them in. One in. Give that a second set. Now I'm gonna drop the second one in. Here's what that looks like. So that's gonna poach for about 3 minutes. I'm gonna keep it on the runny side. It's gonna go into a hot congee or Arroz Caldo, so it'll continue to cook in there as well. And I want to make sure that yolk remains runny. You guys saw me struggling with those chopsticks to flip them, so switch it back to the tongs. Shut this heat off. We'll poach eggs over to this side. Got a little strainer. Use it. If not, you can also use a slotted spoon to pick up your poached eggs. I like the strainer because, I don't know, I just like it better. And this guy looks ready. Nice. 2 perfectly poached eggs. And if you didn't know, you can actually poach eggs ahead of time and store them in your refrigerator. And then when you're ready to use it, just reheat them in warm water from the tap. All right, let's break into that pork belly. Can't help it. I'm gonna take a bite. Okay. Scoop these guys up, wrap it in the vinegar. This is another reason why I'm not too concerned about how crispy it got, because I'm gonna soak it in vinegar and then get it soggy again. And then traditionally, you would slice up your tofu also and drop it into the sauce. But I want to keep the crisp on this tofu because we spent all that time drying it to get a crispy skin. I don't want to ruin it by dropping it into the vinegar. Now we can get started on the actual Arroz Caldo saute. That's weird, there's a timer for it, but that's okay, we'll roll with it. We don't need 30 minutes. Get that going. And I think it's on. Oh, yeah, I heard something click on inside here. So it's gonna go quickly. Grab your spatula. And I'm kind of just moving stuff around to see what kind of action we've got going here. All right, while we wait for that to heat up, I'm gonna grab InstantPot's recommended cooking timetable. Congee, right there. Here I've got some leftover rice that I just pack up and put in the fridge. So we've got 3 cups of rice. They suggest 4 to 5 cups per 1 cup of rice. I'm gonna cut that down to half, or 1 cup of rice and 2 cups of liquid, since this is already cooked. Yeah, so before I get that sorted, I can hear stuff crackling and popping in here. I'm gonna drop our garlic and onion. You can hear that sizzling already. Once that starts to get aromatic, we're gonna drop our cooking liquid in there. That's looking good. You can step away a little bit, it's not quite hot yet. So in here, we're gonna need about 6 cups of cooking liquid. You can hear sizzling from across the room, so our vegetables are ready. For that, we're gonna add our blended garlic and ginger and chicken stock. Nice. Take it all the way down. So I said I wanted 7 cups of liquid. That was only 5 because I want to get all of that goodness in there. And into the pot we go. Get this rice open. Carefully drop that into the InstantPot. This was Calrose rice, if anybody's wondering, so it's really sticky. Micah! I just want to break this up a little bit before we put the lid on and just trust the InstantPot to do its thing. It's not that I don't trust it, but I want to help it out along the way. Okay, so we'll cancel that. We'll get the correct lid on. Good. Twist that on. We're gonna pressure. Boom. Defaults to high yet again. Start. And now the waiting game. Crap, 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 crap. Stop, 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 stop. I forgot to add the chicken to the Arroz Caldo. So we're gonna unlock that. Pull this back off. And as you can see, it already started to boil. Open up our chicken. I'm just gonna drop this whole thing in there. Nice. Give that a stir. And you know what? Since I've got it open again, I'm gonna try to break up this rice one more time while we're in here. Okay, it still doesn't want to come apart. You know what? Pressure magic. Do your thing. Pressure cook. There we go. We'll go 35 again. So it's been about 20 minutes and I was wondering why this never got to pressure. It beeped and gave me a notification that the food was burning. So I shut it off in a panic, lifted the lid off, and nothing's really burning, but there is a sensor in there that noticed the rice was sticking to the bottom of this pot. So I grabbed the wooden spoon and started scraping, and I believe what's happening is, for starters, I didn't have enough liquid in here because as water boils, the rice is supposed to like float to the top, like come up and then come down, come up and come down, come up and come down as the water boils, pressurizing and cooking the rice. But because I started with cooked rice, it was already like, it's already got liquid in it and it's pretty dense. So instead of doing the rising and falling motion, it just sat on the bottom and started to stick. So I added more water and I'm doing my best to find these clumps and just break them up so that they're not as dense. I'm gonna do this for about 5 more minutes and then I'm gonna set the pot to, I don't know, we did 35, 20 minutes. Let's do another 20 minutes. And we're back. We got the same food burn notification and yeah, the rice is stuck on the bottom yet again. I would call that a fail. And it's not the InstantPot's fault, it's mine for starting with cooked rice, because since the rice isn't buoyant like it is when it's dry, it wasn't able to like do that rise and fall and kind of stir itself while it's being pressure cooked. But because I started with cooked rice, let's wipe that off. Because I started with cooked rice, this is actually on its way there. All right, so it's a failure, but it kind of worked out. I'm gonna actually set this to saute. No, let's do saute. Start. And it's going to reduce a little bit. I want it to lose maybe 10% of this liquid. And I think we can achieve that by leaving the lid off and allowing the steam to just come up and the water to evaporate. But I did want to taste it and see if it needed any additional seasoning. And yes, it needs salt. It needs probably a little bit of fish sauce, but I can taste the garlic, I can taste the ginger, I taste onion, maybe 2 pinches of salt. And I'll probably need about a tablespoon of fish sauce. I'll get my fish sauce in and I'll meet you guys in about 10 minutes. And we're back and still steaming up a storm. Okay, here is our Arroz Caldo and it's looking nice and thick. Now I want to start preparing the toppings for our Arroz Caldo. I want some herbage. I didn't have green onions, but I do have cilantro. So that's gonna get a rough chop. Place that aside. I want a wedge of lemon. And just so it looks nice, let's clean up the edges. I want a lot of tofu. So here we've got our tofu that we fried in advance. I'm just gonna cut these into little bite-sized squares. Put that aside. But if you guys remember earlier, we fried up this chicken skin. This is gonna give us our crunch element to this. I'm not even gonna chop, just break it apart to semi-small pieces. And that's good. Yeah, guys, I wanted to fry up some garlic, but I ended up running out. I do have confit garlic, which I prepared well in advance. If you guys are following me on Instagram, I'll show you how to make confit garlic. It's really simple. And I was gonna chop this up, but look, this is so tender. It just falls apart on its own. So I'll put that aside. And we're gonna ladle some of the soup right into that bowl. Come along. Ooh, that steam. Yeah, I'm just doing my best to get a good amount of the soup. Oh, you know what? Let's take this whole chicken thigh too. Nice. First, I'm gonna throw in our garlic. I'm gonna drop in our fried tofu. I'm gonna grab some of our Tokwa't Baboy. Well, this is just the baboy portion. Tokwa't is Tagalog for a tofu. So we're gonna put these guys side by side. Make sure I get a couple habaneros with that because your boy loves his heat. Now we're gonna hit it with our cilantro. Carefully place our poached egg. That goes right there. And then our chicken skin. Last, but certainly not least, wedge of lemon right off the edge of our bowl. Gotta do the fresh cracked black pepper. A lot of it. Now we're done. Right, so that's it. It's a little mildly disappointing, only because I kind of didn't follow the instructions. My rice kept sticking to the bottom of the pot. Let's see how this turned out. Kiss is busy, Mike is taking a nap, so it's just me and this big bowl of comfort. Gotta hit it with lemon. Nice. So we're gonna dig in here. I'm gonna grab myself some chicken, which is absolutely fall apart delicious. Effortless. Single spoon, one-handed, with the camera. And get some pork belly. Can I find some tofu? Right there. Cool. Big bite. Going in, down the hatch. Oh yeah. I don't feel so bad anymore. It turned out great. Would I have liked it to not stop cooking in the middle of its process? Yeah. But you know, the end result is the same. I think I need to take a second shot at this because starting with the cooked rice was really my downfall. I want to see how it turns out, pressure cooked rice from dry kernels, and see if the texture is any different. But flavor wise, it's all there. Our saltiness, we've got that chicken broth from the Hainanese chicken episode, the fattiness from the pork belly, the fried tofu texture, the fried chicken skin is really nice and salty, and its citrus is just enough to cut all of the fattiness. We're gonna go in for another bite. Here we go. And then I just popped our poached egg, and that yolk is just making its way into the rest of the soup and creating that signature Arroz Caldo smoothness. Here we go, another bite. Oh yeah, this is good. This is really good. Oh, I just found a really big nugget of garlic right there. I want that with pork belly. That's going in. It was good, but the taste of defeat is there. It's back in my mind. So I'm gonna give this another shot. But this was really good, and I'm happy. It's been a while since I've had Arroz Caldo, and the weather is getting colder here in LA, so I will be making this more, and I just wanna make sure I dial in that recipe with this bad boy, InstantPot. Cool, and that's today's episode, guys. Thank you for joining me. If you haven't already done so, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and if you want notifications for every time a new episode goes up, every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. Western time. Yeah, get those notifications, hit the bell. I'm gonna keep eating. Love you guys, thanks.
Okay.
That's good.